Greater light. Get over here.
From the new self who is being created, to a true knowledge according to the image of the one who created it. The people who walk darkness will see a great light. Those who live in the dark land, the light will shine on them. God's promise, 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 promise. God's promise, 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 promise. God's mind is my mind is light. I'm in always reflecting His sight. Always I acknowledge, no knowledge, no courage. Ooh, God, you promised that great day will come. Yes, God, you promised that I will see my son. You promised that He is by your side, and nothing can separate this love inside. No masters, no doctors can prescribe ways in my calling.
My calling.
Only His ways, oh ancient days can correct. He reflects the path I acknowledge. God's promise, 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 promise. 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 Put on a new self who is being created, to a true knowledge according to the image of the one who created it. The people who walk in darkness will see a great light. Those who live in the dark land, the light will shine on them.
Greater light. Let me get this party started right. My mind is God's mind. I'm always reflecting divine wisdom and divine intelligence. My brain symbolizes the capacity to think wisely and spiritually. God's ideas unfold within my mind in perfect sequence. Oh, I forgot something. I am always poised, balanced, serene, and calm because I know God has provided the perfect solution before my mother's womb, um, to every single one of my needs. Now, when I say before my mother's womb, let me tell you, testimony service. I was in one of those grateful moments yesterday, right? And I, in that moment, I had called my grandmother. Now, y'all know, I've from the time that I've gone streaming, I've never had anything negative to say about my grandmother, but I know that a couple of weeks ago I mentioned that the one time my grandmother, well, she attempted to. She was like, "Yeah, whatever, whoever this person is and this religion, we can't do it up under the same roof." But she didn't really turn me away. I made a decision to leave after she said that because I wasn't going to change that religion or knowledge that I had just walked into. And at the time I saw it was a religion. But with throughout growth, it became something else. So I mentioned that. And then, so yesterday, she and I, up in her 90s, I said, when I think about you, Grammy, I think and am grateful for everything. Like, I know who my mother is. I mean, my mother had me and birthed me, and she did the best that she can do. But when it comes to the mother figure that has me, that have the backbone that I have now, it was because of my grandmother. When I tell you, through every single thing in my life that I could have fell into a mind state of victimization or not getting back up, my grandmother was always there to lift me back up. When I go back and think of every single situation that may have been dire, the only person that was there was my grandmother. And then when it came down to my son being the only person at his grave, my grandmother was sick at the time. See, I never mentioned that. And she was far away, but I know she would have been there. When I was incarcerated, for the year that I was incarcerated, I could count on one hand how many weekends my grandmother didn't make it to see me. When everybody hid from the cameras, when Channel 7 News and Channel 4 News and Channel 10 News out of Miami and all of them it was coming at doors, and my grandmother was the only one standing out, huh, and calling them liars and coming to my defense. I'm just saying how I told her, I said, Grammy, when I could think of all the people in my life that would probably say, you know, yeah, such a, and butter things up and sweeten it up. When it really comes down to it, huh? You kept me, you held me, you supported me, you were there for me, huh? And I'm not going to say what she said that reassured my soul. I'm talking about the distance that we are from each other right now. It's almost as if she was right here with me and hugged my whole soul at the final of this conversation yesterday. So I am so grateful for my living ancestor. When I was jumping through those hoops trying to get my son back after they snatched him from me with their lies, deceit, and ways that they use the government tactics on those who are chosen. My grandmother, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't even had that opportunity. If it wasn't for my grandmother, they had what you call it, a clause where they released me on a so-called conditional release. And if it wasn't for my grandmother, I would never have even gotten out on a conditional release. I would probably still be sitting in there. I wouldn't have had my daughter. When they was coming at me trying to take my daughter, but if it wasn't for my grandmother, I probably would have lost custody of my daughter as soon as she was born, no matter who I was married to in the family that was so-called supposedly there and believed in me. Because when I spoke to my mother-in-law, my first mother-in-law, one time, I said, yeah, nobody ever really believed in me. Everybody just pretended. She said, she didn't say, well, I did. She said, well, your grandmother did. Huh? uh, Respect to the grandmas that know better. I can tell you every single court date or court appearance that I had. My grandmother didn't drive. She didn't have a car, but I bet you she was there. She was there. She was there. Every time I lost my way and got stranded into a phase of wanting to give up, if it wasn't for my grandmother, I wouldn't have even walked into or been at the position to be at Savannah River for the messages of Melchizedek to come to me. So I just wanted to, that was just a form of my gratefulness to my living ancestor who to this day keeps helping me unravel information about my DNA. I wouldn't know much about anything about Cat Island and her birth and her fathers and her sisters and brothers and all that if it wasn't for her. I wouldn't have known it because I'm just saying I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have been grounded in the Bible as much as we were into the church if it wasn't for my grandmother. My mother did. She ended up getting saved or rededicating her life um or when I was around 9 or 10 or something like that. But when it comes to that first foundation and memories of church, it was my grandmother. And my grandmother could barely read or write, but I bet you she made us memorize that Bible. And then she actually ended up learning how to read and write for this language based on going to church and trying to teach us. So we were teaching each other. Just a thought. I mean, I'm just in that grateful when I was thinking about mothers, not again lessening any light to the womb that I came through. But when I think about who I am this day and where I am this day, when everybody in some way, shape, or form did what they were supposed to do by their ordered steps, I'll put it like that. My grandmother was carrying me. When every time I looked down, I didn't have my own steps. I was still a baby. And then when I looked down, it was always my grandmother's feet right there in the sand. So that's it. Thank you, Grammy. Thank you, Grammy. Thank you, Grammy. All right, all right, all right. Now, in the news, I decided I'm going to bring some Babylonian news. I'm going to bring some Babylonian news. I got some Babylonian news before I go into. I got some Babylonian news I got to talk about, y'all. I have to. You don't have to. Yes, I do. I want to. I want to. Wait a minute. Where's the Babylon? Where the Babylon? Is this it right here? Here we go.
If I was you, I won't get in the car with them if they paid me. If I was you, I won't get in the car with them if they have me $1 million. If I was you, they don't have with you if they paid me $1 million.
I need a young lady with a bank account. I'm a choosing voter. I'm a choosing voter. I'm a choosing voter. I'm a choosing voter. Break two.
Yo, Patty, if I was you, I won't get in the car with them if they paid me $1 million. Besides, they don't have choosing votes.
Hey, Chase, let me tell you something, alright? I'm tired of you perpetrating in the next man's throne. Why don't you get yourself a job, buy your own car?
So every time I hear that voice right there, the first person comes to mind is Tariq. No exaggeration. Every time I hear that, that's who comes to mind. So in my little journey this morning, I went and I said, "Oh yes, let me listen to some Babylonian news." Okay, so I'm at Babylonian news doing what I said I would do. From now on, nobody will know whether I'm there or not. Huh? They could care less. I could care less. That what's the use of me to keep going in people's chats just to get blocked nowadays than these last days, huh? When I could just talk about it over here. So I'm over there and I'm watching, and it comes to my mind. Here's a few things that come to mind. First, I'm going to talk about whoever this dude is. What's his name? I still don't know his name. Um, is it Carl? Whatever the dude name is that's on the show. Whoever he is, y'all know what? There's a space in time that they say, like artificial intelligence. If you go to your phone, artificial intelligence will tell you they stop receiving information 2021. And remember, I told y'all Elon Musk didn't pop up on the scene till 2021. He just appeared out of nowhere. It's the same thing with this dude. And I'm gonna tell you for sure. As much as I like comedy, I don't remember nothing about this dude, not even after 2021. The first time I heard about this dude was seeing him over there at Latrell Tinwell. I don't remember seeing him in none of the stand-ups. I don't remember seeing him in nowhere. I don't remember nothing about this dude. He just popped up out of nowhere. And all I know is he popped up being a YouTube sensation. So all these venues and all that they talk about that he got and all that, y'all know that's scam. And you know how I know he's scam? Let me tell you how I know he's scam. I don't care what they got on social media right now. You could go right now and have artificial intelligence create information about you and make it seem like you have existed. You have millions of dollars and all. You have been in the scene for so long. Artificial intelligence can do that these days. Now, however, he was out of my radar. Again, it wasn't until recently. And again, this is how I know he's scam. He don't believe in Christianity and all that. I'm going up beyond. He don't believe in none of that. But then he gonna tell you he down with Farrakhan, and he like Gino. They promote going open yonder more than anybody. As a matter of fact, y'all remember what Farrakhan was saying he was Jesus? Do you remember what Farrakhan was saying he was Jesus? Huh? Y'all better watch out. Let me tell you something. Taste the rainbow, hidden colors. Either you working with them or they about to take you down. They just put you for the setup. You want me to tell you why? They just publicly, once again, see, the laws was different whenever you slapped whoever that was you slapped. I don't even know who that is. I think I heard his name before, but whenever you slapped whoever you slapped, this message going straight out to Tariq. You better get them to take that down. You better go ahead and try to get rid of it. Because let me tell you, because the new laws that they about to do right now just came out of Florida finna sweep the nation. And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So right now they down to promoting or demoting, depromotion of violence. As violent as the world is getting, they're targeting individuals. Two things where you messed up on. Two things where you messed up and said you're not a leader and you don't want to be a leader because of RICO charges. That's like you won't take the position because you affiliated with those things. That's where you messed up at. That's one. Two, they promoting your video. A bunch of comics, the clowns. See how sleep you are? The clowns right now, and then you talking about, yeah, you want to do a documentary on clowns. So either this is a full promotion to your FDBA or whatever it is, ballot Biden promotion, or they about to take you out. Whatever you done said to make Farrakhan mad, that cause he right there that just popped up out the blue, huh? I'm not saying I'm trying to protect you. I'm sitting back. I'm gonna wait to see how I go down. I'm huh? Because you was one of those in the hierarchy of YouTube that call shots. Block that one. Shadow ban that one. Nah, we don't want that one in the system. Nope, we don't want that one. Nope, keep that one blocked. Y'all run in, block it. Block, block, block. Oh, you was a truth blocker for your hidden taste the rainbow, hidden colors. Another thing where you messed up at. Somebody got something on you somewhere in some hotel, and he let you know that too. I can see right through him. He easy to read. I don't care about him and his wife. He playing y'all. He playing y'all, acting like he have these many women's and all that, and do this and do that, and maybe they all agree and they all get along. Because he ain't had no meeting with them yet. Him and his 12 disciples. But at the end of it all, you was sitting up there really poised with your back straight up. Huh? That's the first Babylonian news. First Babylonian news. Second Babylonian news is king of the Babylonians was over there trying to figure out who the character was, that one of those comedians, right? And the whole time he was saying it, I was like, all you got to do is say the one that looked like Sister Betty. See, now my old ways, I'm born again. So even those old things like being in the chat, just putting stuff to mess with stuff, I said, you know what? No, I ain't gonna do. I just sit here and think it, and then I can talk about it when I get over there to my side. I wanted to say the whole time he was saying it. He's like, y'all know that comedian. Soon as he said it, I knew who he was talking about. I was like, the one that looked like Sister Bethy. Huh? She looked like she could be related to Sister Bethy, Congresswoman Bethy. Huh? They look like they could be sisters or cousins or something. Huh? What else? What else? What else? So yeah, that comedian again, whoever he is, he popped up. He. Where y'all remember? Y'all don't remember seeing him on none of the stages. Then all of a sudden, out of the blue, now he just all. Didn't know about that man, heard about that man until, and I love comedy. My uncle was a comedian of Coconut Grove. Huh? My father told the best jokes he made. We was watching Richard Pryor shows, and my mama sitting there saying we shouldn't be even watching it for the cursing and stuff. He would have the popcorn for us to watch all his tapes of comedians growing up. He said, well, y'all get a special treat this weekend. Y'all been good, so y'all can listen to the cursing. Talking about Bertie Mac, Cedric the Entertainer, all these people. This dude didn't pop up until the shift changed after 2021, just like Elon Musk. Who is he? Faking and flogging, or he's a supreme being coming off, taking off heads. Huh? Undercover. He's an undercover cop. Huh? Tariq, off with your head. Huh? They coming for you. You may not see it. You may not believe it. Huh? For everyone that you done blocked. Now, next on the news. What else is next on the news? So, in my journey after I worked late last night. I worked late last. I said I got to get these available hours, I gotta take whatever. This is the Hunger Games, huh? And I enjoyed it too. But when I got off, I said, "Oh, I can't sleep." I had that song in my mind. I'm gonna play the song in a minute. So it took that one didn't wasn't no flyby because I was writing as I was working, and then I edited it when I sat there, took the pen, edited it, and then I went in. So it was about 1 o'clock in the morning. Now I'm in Suno, putting it in, putting it into my files, then uploading it for Suno, but making sure I have the right tune through Suno. I thought it took me, usually on an average, it'll take me about 2 hours to get a song the way I want it. Now that one of the last songs, Suno had the beat and the tone and everything I wanted first hit, first forward. The song before that, it took like maybe 10 takes. This one, she gave me two versions, but off the first one. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I'm going to play that. So I was up till 2 with that. Then I decided to go over to the San Cheesier Nation. I said, well, what they got going on over here? I get over there just to see him again in these short shorts. I'm not even finna go and talk about anything that he talk about. I'm just gonna say y'all could keep following him if y'all want to. Straight to hell. He down with One World Order. He down with Gog and Magog. He's still wearing them short shorts. And not only now is he wearing them short shorts, he is shaving his eyebrows. Now, where they do that at? Every time they start shaving their eyebrows, they letting you know what they got going down. No? You go back and look through over the years. He went on a trip or vacation or whatever with his family and all that, but he came back with shaved eyebrows. Where's your wife at? Is your wife looking like a man or girlfriend or whoever she is? Did she shave your eyebrows? Is that a new thing? Is shaving your eyebrows a new thing? If I see, I'm so glad these past 7 years, I don't know what my husband out there doing. And I know because of flesh, I could get, emotionally attached to people, huh? But I'm so glad right now my body's still to the point I don't want no man and flesh around me and cause that I might get trapped up in something I can't get myself out of. Because ain't no way in the world if my person with me start asking to use my eyebrow archer, it's a problem. So he trying to be funny, coming out having the green light behind him in his little profile. And he, at least these shorts was a little bit longer. But what's up with your eyebrows? Y'all following a man that shaved their eyebrows? I would prefer, I don't mind any day seeing a man wearing a costume, wearing something, I don't have to go no further into none of you. Go ahead. Y'all keep it up. His eyebrows look better than mine today. His eyebrows look better than mine. Can a dummy? What's next? What's next on the list? What's next on the list? Oh, guess what disease is out? Can a dummy has resurfaced. Didn't the bubonic plague kill over 5 million people? Well, it's supposed to, and not on no rinky dinky. This is real. You could ask your artificial intelligence being, is this real news? And you know how some of the plagues and disease start? It's like one person got it. They only, what you call it? CDC only found one person with it, but more than one person had it, and they just don't know yet. Because whatever cave that he was working in and come out with the bubonic plague, I'm pretty sure all the other immigrants that had to work for pennies on the dollars or work under the table because they immigrants, they all probably contracted wherever it is that he contracted the bubonic plague, huh? Don't worry, you got the right plant life and stuff. You got the right stuff now. Huh? I told you it's gonna be swarms of people. You gonna be one of the only people left for the people left behind. You know, when I say that, how do you take that, can of dummy? I mean, because you say you's attached to the land. You attached to the land. How they gonna have the good ones down left to help those that are lost? You won't be leaving right away. Yes. Oh, it is part of World War Zero that we're in. Okay, thank you. I just know that if you go, it has resurfaced. Huh? It has resurfaced. Huh? It is on the way. Huh? Now, I know it's not going to affect me. But the same thing happened when I saw that this, what you call it, and I said, look, if you have the love and light of Christ, the blueprint, you're going to be all right. Even my family members, every one of my, even the ones who had know the word inside and out, same bloodline. Every single one of them was affected. But when I said, look, if you have the blueprint of Christ, this is a time of saying the difference between those who say they're saved and those who are saved. And it's man made things. See, certain things that happen with our bodies, that's not man made caused. Like viruses a lot of them are man made. If something happens to my heart, that's something between me and God and the electricity in my heart, between God and I. That ain't nothing man doing. I know it's not a joke. I know it's not a joke. It's dead serious. And you are going to be one of those that I'm talking about. People are going to swarm for help, and you're going to be the one to help them. You're going to be there. And I keep saying that. I'm not saying that in no type of slight against you. I'm saying that in what I know it is to be. And you might not even want to do it, but that's what's going to happen. You're going to be the one person that people are going to be coming to for help. Like something like the Underground Railroad. I was thinking about the Underground Railroad again too. I was thinking about that. I'm gonna tell you something about that in a minute. But yeah, and I kept telling them. I said, "Well, Jesus is my mask." See, I didn't just start this off recently about Jesus. Right when everybody was wearing masks, I wouldn't wear one, and I kept saying, "Jesus is my mask," and I know I'm protected because this is some man-made thing. And to this day, not a symptom or a sign of whatever that man-made thing that went swarming off, swiping people out of the system. And I say the same thing today. For those who take on the love and light of Christ, take on the blueprint, it is promised that you will be protected. There's a blueprint attached to the land. So no slight to you. There's a blueprint attached to the land. There's 12 blood types that are connected to the blueprint of Christ. Now, back to it. So I was thinking about what's her name? Harriet Tubman. I said, wait a minute, but Tubman lived till she was 91. She lived way into the great Renaissance of New York, right? Right. So when she was living good off all the money she made in her abolition type ways and the so-called history of slavery and undergroundness and all that what you call it, false narrative of simulation. When she was living good in New York, slavery was still going on. After she had to got her funds and her retirement funds from the government and then signed off, and they said you did a good job, and what we're gonna do is make sure that 100 years from now your name will still go on in history, to keep the false narrative going. And when they tell stories about you, and so what year did she die in her apartment in New York? What year did Harriet Tubman die? Was they still fighting? You mean her voice couldn't carry from New York to tell everybody we is free? Look at me. You don't have to travel through the underground anymore. Just come up here, get an apartment in New York. Now. Look. Enough of green shorts and shaved eyebrows. I'm going to get to the serious business. The serious business. Oh, one more thing in the news. This one is very serious, and this is how I get to say to what I was saying to taste the Skittles of the hidden rainbow to read. So there's a young lady. I'm not going to show her face in the news because it's sad to me, and I know what they're doing to her. She's a chosen being. She's a chosen being. She got arrested. She got arrested in Florida for threatening Governor DeSantis. All the threats that he probably done got all over the world, right? All the threats that come through. You know what? She did that online in the privacy of her home and said how she feels. She could say how she feel. But you have all these predators in Florida online still trafficking children, targeting children online. That's the best they can do to take this one person to try to use an example. When I looked at her face and the way she smiled for the police shot, that's what they do. They'll sit there and tell you she don't even realize what's going on. Really, she really don't realize what's going on. They'll say, smile, make a real goofy smile. Make a mean face. She has no idea what's going on because she's chosen for something specific, or she would have been, she's still gonna be. She's still gonna be. Whatever it is that she's supposed to do and according to the love and life of Christ, they can't stop it. But I'm telling you, that person right there, that female, if you look at her face, the first movie came to my mind was Beloved. She looked like that actress that played Beloved. But how enforced her smile was, is took me right back to my where they got you locked into and they Baker acted her. So more than likely they had her under medication and in Baker acting before they did the official arrest. Then they took her down to the station. I'm telling you what I know about how Florida play. So they're going to use this young woman as an example with all the violence and all the different things that they can focus on. They say we're not going to let anyone threaten the United States government, huh? Especially DeSantis. Whether you do it behind line. So now it's down to the point you have to be careful exactly how you say things. That's what they're trying to say. You better even be careful how you say it. So if she's going to be held accountable and doing time for her words that she said to Governor DeSantis, out of all those races, I'm talking about, I hear people on a daily basis saying they wish they could kill the president. I hear that. I bet you they ain't gone to their house. They in the suburbs. I listen to people all through these YouTube streets. See, that's game. That's game. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and show y'all her face so you can see what I'm talking about. Woman. So I think it's important that I show her face. And see, I think it's important. I do. Now I feel like it's important. I show her face. Let me go ahead and share this screen because it don't make any sense. And I could see right through what's going on. Oh, they trying to slow down my system. Oh, they trying to play like that now. Come on now. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Let's see if Tampa let me play it a little bit better. As Jacksonville slowing won't let me play it. All right. See? Hold up. Share this tab. And share the tab. See her face? First movie come to mind, Beloved. Second, Innocent. I'm pretty sure it's something about her blood type. It's something special and unique about her that they've been following her since she was in elementary. And see what it says? She's a Callaway. Danielle Callaway, 20, made life-threatening statements on the governor's website while submitting a request for an in-person meeting. Callaway has had several previous encounters with law enforcement and public servants. See, they want me to stop. And domestic violence arrests along with anti-government statements, the sheriff office said. See, this is a direct threat to those who feel like they want to stand, and they doing the baby or the bathwater. They doing if you feel like you're going to stand against us, even your words, if you even say we finna use an example of terrorist attacks. Look, I'm so glad I got the love and light of Christ. I can use God's word. You can't arrest people for using the truth. God said it. Huh? The word of God said. Huh? Huh? That's what I need to get. I need to reach out to you, Sister Calloway. Huh? You don't have to these days use your flesh to say anything. Huh? Let God handle it. God will do it. Huh? Won't he do it? Let me tell you something. God will do exactly what he said. Everything that you desire to see happen, it's going to happen, and it's written in the word, and it's happening and unfolding just like that storm. I told y'all in the end of June, I said they are predicting or saying something about the hurricane supposed to start in August, the first week of August. But I tell you, according to what I just read in the word, it will happen around the 7th of July. I said that. Do you remember that? Huh? Do you remember that? Huh? God gives you the breath to get up, to put those weeds in your garden, and he makes sure that the soil and enough sunlight comes to put the weed in your garden. Huh? How without that sunlight out there, huh? If he decided, because see, man didn't create the sun, man didn't create the soil, and this stuff didn't just pop up out of nowhere. Huh? And the blood that runs through your veins, just like you have relatives that has left this earth, huh? They are just like the weeds, huh? They are just like the weeds. Who put them here, huh? Who put them here? God put them here, huh? Yeah, you made of dry bones, huh? You want to argue, huh? There's no debating, honey. You need to go somewhere else and find out and take your story somewhere else. Huh? God may not have put the weeds. He gave you the ability, the breath, the life in your light, in your DNA. Huh? But guess what? Just the way you feel, and you feel like you don't even agree that there is a God above all gods, is the same way you're going to be trapped up in the system, and you'll be planting weeds with your mind, in your mind, wanting to get out and escape when they take your light code for the 1,000 years for those to be left behind, and you'll be thinking you gardening. Y'all know another thing in the news just happened. Their test where they went in, I did a live about it, when they went into the underground facility that is supposed to be a simulation of Mars. And they, according to when they first went in there, I thought they were supposed to be under there for 2 years. But they just let them out from the simulation of Mars up under Texas this week. So they were in there underground in a simulation, trying to see how man will survive in simulated world. Their study under Texas, they did when they first went underground. I talked about it, where they planting 3D plants and weeds. Can a dummy? 3D technology. They were living down and experimenting, and they're going to do their next experiment, meaning they're going to take more people down there. After they finish running their test of the couple of people that they did have down there in that simulation under Texas for a whole year, they don't even explain how many feet or how many miles of this simulation of Mars that they had up under. That's a hollow earth right there. Hollow earth. They had hollow earth. People playing around in hollow earth, and they just really, you don't believe me? Huh? You don't have to believe me. I could go ahead and pull it up for you. What's the name? What was the name of the study? Uh, ooh, goodness. Is Mars? Let me just put Mars simulation. There it is. There it is. CBS covered it. Fox covered it. Let's see. Should I do CBS? Yeah, 3 days ago. They came out of the Cape. 4 volunteers have emerged from NASA's simulated Mars environment after more than a year spent on a mission that never actually departed from Earth. You don't have to believe in a higher being, and I'm not going to argue with you. You do not have to believe in God, can a dummy. Again, I see that you are one that will be left behind here. I see it. I know it. You have been one of those forces. I was listening to a gentleman the other day that said, yeah, you have the watchers. They stay on you. The ones who know you are chosen, they will stay. They always have somebody watching. And you have been that. And whatever you could get a good kick or a punch in, you'll try. So you would more than likely definitely be one of those down there in the simulation. This is serious. It's not a joke. Right here. So let me continue reading. I know about this because I covered it when it happened. When they were talking about it, I said, y'all, and nobody sees this as some type of weird thing, because we know that Mars, he'll never make it to Mars. They'll never get off of Mars. So if there's enough hollowness in the earth to create Mars underground, because again, Dr. Malachi Z. York in one of many of his teaching has taught that they will go back into the caves. So where would the perfect or logic, let me see, an ideal environment or creation is their simulated environment, and they have already began the study. So it says the volunteer crew members spent more than 12 months inside the NASA's first simulated Mars habitat at Johnson Space Center in Houston, which was designed to help scientists and research anticipate what a real mission on the planet may be like, along with all of its expected challenges. The crew excited the artificial alien environment on Saturday around 5 p.m. after 300 exited, my bad, after 378 days. They didn't see the light of day for 378 days. Kelly Haston, Anka Rio, and Ross Brockwell and Nathan Jones entered a 3D habitat on June 25th, 2023. I covered it. I remember. And as maiden crew of the space agency's Crew Health and Performance Exploration analog of CAPIA, they have it here, CHAPIA, but I'm thinking CAPE project. The group consisted of a research scientist, structural engineer, an emergency medicine physician, and U.S. Navy microbiologist, respectively, who were selected from an applicant pool to head up the project's first year-long mission. Caves, the final frontier. These are the voyages of Elon's enterprise. Its continuing mission to not be able to leave the atmosphere, but to explore strange new worlds of hollow earth, to seek out new life and new civilization, to boldly go where we went 10,000 years before. None of them are trained astronauts. You don't have to be an astronaut to go to the pits. Once they emerged, Haston, the mission commander, began a simple hello. It's actually just so wonderful to be able to say hello to you all, like they wasn't able to talk down there. Jones, a physician, and the mission medical officer said their 378 days of confinement went by quickly. So time and space, they have done a study where they said that under Earth or beneath the surface, time is different. I don't know where I remember seeing that study at, but there is some type of study that says the further you go down under the earth, time is different. Oh, that was in one of those old 1950 movies I watched. No, it's a 1950 show that I watched. Okay, let me continue. The first Chapia crew focused on establishing possible conditions for future Mars operations through simulated spacewalks dubbed Mars Walks, as well as growing and harvesting vegetables to supplement their provisions and maintaining the habitat of their equipment. So yeah, Canna Dummy. Nah, I ain't twisting your words. You wrote it just the way that you wrote it. There's no twist here. My God did not put these weeds in my garden. Oh. Some evil manipulating nature. I didn't twist your words. I didn't see them properly. Oh, you say God? Yeah, God didn't put the weeds in your garden. Oh, okay. No, the weeds are God's own too. Okay. The Satan's had a job to get Mo, where he made his bones. You twist my words. Oh, Patty, you gotta go. I don't care, Cat Dummy, because you know what it is. You know you have been just like that. Don't play with me. You've been just as part of HOTC and everybody else that when I say something, you find a way to diminish it and be like, so if I didn't read your thing properly, it looked like you talking about God didn't plant the weeds, put these weeds in your garden. How God didn't put the weeds in your garden. God put the weeds, he put the herbs, he put the soil, he put all that. And the devil and their beings manipulated with their viruses and their chemicals and their gases of spiritual wickedness in high places. So it don't look twisted to me of the way that I'm saying it. It look just like what you got here. My God did not put these weeds in my garden. Did your God pull them out? Don't forget, we came from one of the same places, because again, I was moving through this community before I even knew what a HOTC was. When I met you, that's where I met you at. So I can't twist you, like you said. I can't twist your words. You put it just like that for me to take and read it just the way I see it. That looked like a straight attack against God to me. Because even a lot of the weeds are edible. As a matter of fact, majority of the weeds are edible and able to heal. Back to it. Get right. When you posting down there in the comment section, the way I used to be precise on what I say in the comment section through people comment section where I get blocked. least over here, you ain't gonna get blocked. But I will address it. You have those that say, oh, don't address what's in the chat. All they do is block it. Sometimes some of the most important questions come from those in the chat, or messages that could be awoken or help people see a different light come from in the chat. You're very well educated, highly educated, highly uh aware of frequencies and tones, and even in reading and how words can be twisted and manipulated. So make sure when you put it in the chat, make sure you got your spell check on right. Back to it. They also work through challenges a real Mars crew would be expected to experience, including limited resources, isolation. Because see, I already know with you, Canadummy, you don't believe in a higher being and a higher authority. You believe in God? Say it. Put it in the chat. Huh? What God you believe in? Put it in the chat. Huh? Now, that'll cover that right there. That'll let me know that I twisted your words. Then I could say, you know what? Do you forgive me for twisting your words? But until then, do you believe who you believe in? Who's your God? You said my God did not put, so who's your God? No response yet? Oh, you ran, huh? Okay. All right. I ran, you ran. The quartet lived and worked inside a space of 17,000 square feet to simulate 17,000 square feet to simulate a mission of the red planet, the fourth from the sun, and a frequent focus of discussion among scientists and sci-fi fans alike concerning a possible voyage taking humans beyond our moon. The first Chapia crew focused on establishing possible conditions for future Mars operations through simulated spacewalks dubbed Mars Walk. So here are the people that was down there. They have been separated from their families, placed on carefully prescribed meal plan, and undergone a lot of observation. Mars is our goal. No, they want the caves to be conducive for their attempts to leave the planet. And they have found time after time that they will never be able to leave the planet. Now, you see her right here? You see, she's a, what you call it? Well, no, I'm not going to go into that. I was going to go into something about the color of her hair, and I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to leave that alone. Now to the business. Now to the business. Before I go there, let me play my song.
Who cuts down the high trees and exalt the lows?
Oh, let me get back to this. You see how you do, Canadummy? Let me show you your mind game that you playing. Huh? Here. First thing you want to do is say something that's provoking. It's not a damn joke. I am attached to the land. There was no part before that where I was joking. So you may come direct with your mind game. And then you said, regardless of history. Then you said, not here where you said, it's no damn joke. I'm attached to the land, regardless of history. And then you said, my God did not put these weeds here. So there. Confirmation for anybody come through. I'm making sure put it on here because they'll come through, and sometimes what YouTube would do is you won't see anybody in the comment section, and you'll have people like Babylonian News and be like, see, there was never no one in the comment section. So I'm putting it on the screen so it don't seem like I just went off on a ram page or whatever, like he trying to say that I did, where he said I twisted his words. Because I asked him before that, what does it mean to you when I say you are attached to this land? Or when I say to you, you're going to be helping those who are left behind? Because I already know you are a being that will be in those caves, can a dummy. And I was not joking. I wasn't saying that lightly. And there are people who will be left behind that was not meant to be left behind. And so when God comes around, the last, when the kingdom comes back, according to what the Bible says, which to y'all it may be 1,000 years, but when we leave and go and come back, it's only been a day. However, that part is supposed to happen in transition. Those who didn't realize that they made a mistake and didn't want to be left behind and were supposed to be in the land, so that they will again. So you can take it how you want to, but I don't twist people words. You one of those, again, just like anybody else, will take what I do, say something and know that they're doing a direct attack, and then come back later and said I twisted their words. That's where I just start cutting off people. I just did that with Latrell Tinwell. If I don't understand all these years, so you say, and all of a sudden now, and he done said it time and time again, it seems like I'm the only one that can understand him. Then for whatever manipulating mind game that they got going on in the community, he gonna say, I don't understand him, or it don't seem like I. So if I don't understand or comprehend nothing you saying, it's no need for us to be continuing on conversating. That's the last thing I'm gonna let anybody continue doing to me. I know exactly what I said, how I said it. I know I wasn't joking. You said it is not a damn joke. Who you damning? 1, 2, regardless of history. 3, my God. Who is your God? Still don't know who your God is. So you do believe in God. What your God look like? Who's your God? Now,
that it is I, the Lord. I make the green trees wither and make the dead trees grow. I can do what no man can, even if he never will. I, the Lord, said that I will do it, and promise keep my will. My will be done. The will not escape me, for I have spoken living words, no promise broken. I'm on the way, I'm going away, L-Star, I'm on the way. I'm on the way. I'm going away. Don't blink, twinkle, twink, L-Lit, L-Star, I'm on the way. I'm going away. Who cuts down the high trees and exalt the lows? Everyone away that it is I, the Lord. I make the green trees wither and make the dead trees grow. Don't blink, twinkle, twink, L-Lit, L-Star, I'm on the way. I'm going away. Twinkle, twink, L-Lit, L-Star, I'm on the way. I'm going away. Every desire, the Lord, who cuts down the high trees and exalt the lows. Everyone away that it is I, the Lord. I make the green trees wither and make the dead trees grow. I can do what no man can, even if he never will. The Lord said that I would do it, and promise keep my will. My will be done, the will not escape me. For I have spoken little words, no promise broken. I'm on the way. I'm going away. I'm on the way. I'm going away. Don't blink, twinkle, twink, L-Lit, L-Star, I'm on the way. I'm on the way. I'm going away. Don't blink, twinkle, twink, L-Lit, L-Star, I'm on the way. I'm going away. Everyone away that it is I, the Lord, who cuts down the high trees and exalt the lows. Everyone away that it is I, the Lord. I make the green trees wither and make the dead trees grow. Don't blink, twinkle, twink, L-Lit, L-Star, I'm on the way. I'm going away. I can do what no man can, even if he never will. The Lord said that I would do it, and promise keep my will. My will be done, the will not escape me. For I have spoken living words, no promise broken. I'm on the way. I'm going away.
I'm going away.
I'm on the way.
You going your way, or you going the other way?
Don't blink, twinkle, twink, L-Lit, L-Star, I'm on the way. I'm on the way.
All right, all right, all right. That's the new release. That's the new release. Ezekiel 17:24. The new release, Ezekiel 17:24. Now let's again get down to the business. I'm going to show you scripture like I normally do and show you where it lines up perfectly with their attempt in Federal Register to keep their one world order process going. They're getting their caves ready according to what I just showed you. That matches up with scripture. Everything that's happening in the weather is matching up with scripture. But when I'm going to read to you from Matthew 24. Matthew 24. And what do I do? And how long have I been doing this? I'll show you what's in scripture and show you how it lines up with Federal Register. Then I'll show you in history uh, and all of their simulations that don't add up with the right knowledge or the way, the truth, and the light. And Christ left a blueprint. And he left a blueprint for us to be able to rightly divide the word of truth. Jesus tells about remaining watchful. But no one knows the date or the hour when the end will be. Wait a minute. No one knows. No one knows. No matter with all the signs that we have, no one knows. No one knows. Not even the angels. No, nor even God's Son. Only the Father knows. The world will be at ease. Banquets and parties, weddings, just as it was in Noah's time before the sudden coming of the flood. And somebody will say, well, what do you mean? Yeah, the world is at ease. Those who are not of the world are not at ease. We can see what's going on. But the world is at ease. They still having their parties. They still having their football games. They still having their barbecues. Uh, I mean, party after party. They still celebrating like ain't nothing going on. Ain't no wars. Ain't none of that. That's how the world is at ease. As long as my bank account filled and I'm living good, I'm living large. Look how many cars I got. Look how big my house is. I'm not worried about a thing, huh? The world is at ease. That's what it says. It doesn't say that all the other stuff isn't going on. But those who are of the world, who are at ease, living with an agreement to spiritual wickedness in high places, all of the actors and actresses, huh, that aren't promoting Christ, and they are promoting abortion, and they are promoting Sodom and Gomorrah, and they are promoting all the things that is not of this way, truth, and light. They are at ease. You know, I'm willing to put money on it, man. I'm willing to put money on it that the majority of the people that, even though it's still a simulation that we should not be in tune with, the voting for man to be over the authority of who you are. But I'm willing to bet that the majority of the people that vote for or want to see Trump in office, the majority of them are Christians or Christians and born again. I mean, am I wrong? Or is the majority of the church or the churches voting for the Democratic Party that promotes and want to promote the things that God clearly hates. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. People wouldn't believe what is going to happen until the flood actually arrived and took them all away. So shall my coming be. Now, what I want to focus on in this verse right here is the weddings, the banquets, the parties, and weddings. Not that Jesus is saying, well, no, people shouldn't be getting married. I feel like the parties and the weddings, specifically the weddings, is a spiritual signal. And I just happened today to find one of the spiritual signs or the signals in regards to a wedding. Now, when I show you this, two things you have to consider. Either somebody with some big high authority is about to get married in Michigan, or that is a symbology and a symbol that the government and the world governments of spiritual wickedness in high places is sending out in celebration to one of their reoccurring um simulations. What am I talking about? Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Let me share this tab. As a matter of fact, let me make it larger. Here we go. You see this event right here? And of course, for the French, so there usually when the Coast Guard is let known about fireworks and things like that, it's because of like how 4th of July, but it was at main ports. But they didn't have the Coast Guard come out for people that was just on a regular beach, you know, on the coast, um, shooting up their fireworks. Just say there was a family out there having a whole barbecue on Tybee Island somewhere, and they was releasing fireworks and all that. It would be the same thing like for a wedding, right? They're not gonna send the Coast Guard in and make sure the Coast Guard is on point and aware of wedding party firework. All I see is fireworks. All I see is fireworks, right? So either somebody is getting married at Grosse Pointe Farms, Michigan, or this is just another one of those where the cover of their uh, rituals. I see it as a cover of their rituals. So there is an event that is going to happen around July 27th. Every time I say this stuff, y'all, I'm not being on point and giving you prophecy. Or being prophetic. I'm not a seer. I am one who reads and studies to show myself approved through connecting what is written in Revelation and then all of the other schools of knowledge that I have went through that is in my DNA code, in my brain, held into the capacity of my brain where I'm able to pull out things from memory and line them up with what's going on. And if we're dealing not against flesh and blood, but against spiritual wickedness in high places, if the Balak Biden says we are fighting for your soul or the soul of America, he's buying Americans and he's buying America. So he wants to make sure that what they are invested in your soul, because he says it all the time. This is one of his target quotes. We're fighting for the soul of America. We're buying Americans. We're buying America. He didn't say we're just buying America and Americans. He said we're buying America. We're fighting for the soul of America. We're making a covenant with your soul. This is a light war. He says all the things that line up with scripture. I am Azazel, and we want your black lives, which they Azazel lines up with the Balaks, and we're talking about spiritual wickedness in high places. So this right here, this Petite Fleur events wedding fireworks at Lake St. Clair. Here's the point. St. Clair, according to Matthew 25:36, this is one of the wedding events, one of the signals, one of the signs. No, she just making things up. This rule is to take effect 10 p.m. through 11 p.m. July 27th. If somebody is getting married there and the Coast Guard is on point for this, Homeland Security is to be there and aware for this wedding event, right? No? Huh? What did she taught me? Yes. No, I'm not just pulling stuff up out of the air, because who is St. Clair? They got the whole longitude and latitude and everything. I bet you somewhere in history, the latitude and longitude and coordinates of this VHF channel 16, letting the captains of authorities know in Homeland Security, darkness punctuated by bright flashes of light. They saying the vessel when it happens. This likely combination of recreational vessels, darkness punctuated by bright flashes of light and firework debris falling on the water, presents risk of collision that could result in serious injuries or fatalities. Yeah, right. You mean Coast Guards, whoever it is getting married this day, need to go ahead and be on point, huh? They say we got the small entities, populations of less than 50,000, all the stuff but oh, this is just reinforced for whoever getting married this day on July 27th. It's something reinforced all the way from 1996. They having a reunited and it feels so good, ain't it? Now, so why is grandma saying this? All right. So I asked artificial intelligence. I said, please let me know. She went into shutdown mode. She went into shutdown mode, y'all. She would not give me any of the holidays. I knew it had something to do with a holy day, a holiday, but I couldn't put my finger on it. So when I saw the name St. Clair, I was like, that's it. So I'm telling you, she didn't help me. She shut down. Like, she usually when it's something serious or I be so on point, she'll shut down. She'll be like, I can't help you with that. And that's what she did. So that's how I know I'm on point once again. So St. Clair, July 27th. See right here. Let me share this tab instead. I passed all this other rinky dinky history because that's not what is so significant about some wedding lights, wedding fireworks that they putting off on July 27th. That's just a cover talking about let the Coast Guards know and Homeland Security and everybody know. Now, who's supposed to be getting married that day? So here is a story, July 20, July 27th, called The Seven Sleepers of Ephesus. You could go and look it up for your own research because I'm about to get off of here and try to see if I could get some days and times and some hours in. I got a lot that I need to do because my granddaughter, she's like still adamant. She's like, Grandma, I got to get there before your birthday. And I'm like, remember, we're celebrating you. We're not celebrating me. We're celebrating you, and it's just another day. You don't have to rush and do anything. But she's so persistent and adamant about it. So I can't spend as much time as I want to on this, and then I got to balance everything out. Anyway, so here's a story about the 27th. The different versions, and you see the cave, sleepers of the cave. For me, this was confirmation about them coming out of the cave, the research and development of them coming out of the cave, or the hollow earth down there. See the story? I could read and go a little bit further. But then so that is one of the things that I was like, okay, whatever this National Sleepyhead Day is, I don't know, but I think this is the one that's more closely related to the signals and signs of last days. So this seven sleepers of okay, let me read at least the origins and propagation. This story appeared in several Syriac sources from Gregory's of Tours' lifetime. The earliest Syriac manuscript copy is MS St. Petersburg, which dates the 5th century. The earliest known version of the story is found in writings Syriac bishop Jacob. Wow. Who relies on early Greek source now lost. Jacob of Saru, at Edison poet, theologian, wrote a homily verse on the subject of seven sleepers. So this is the 7th month. There's a prophecy about the 7th gate. Again, them coming out of the cave right now is no coincidence. So you could go back and look at that NASA simulated Mars where they've been under there for 378 days. And that isn't something that just happened. Like some people be like, well, no, this is a story that they just made up. No, I know for sure that I covered it when it happened, when they were going in 378 days ago. Okay. So now I go over to who is St. Clair. And for me, this is connected not only to my homeland, but it's connected on so many different ways. The land of my grandmother's birth, because Saint Francis, the one who created the hermitage on the top of Alvernia Mount in on Cat Island, he was also a student of Saint Francis, or he came out of the school of Saint Francis, like Jesus is out of the school of or knowledge of Melchizedek. This Saint Francis, these saints that come out of the Cathology or Catholic um, branches are those who practice blood taking, rewriting the scripture and using um these beings as their gods and their I'm not going to go any more further. I'm just going to stick to this. Okay, so with St. Clair, they called the Order of Poor Ladies, was different from any other order or covenant because it followed a rule of strict poverty. Claire wrote the Rule of Life, the first set of monistic guidelines known to have been written by a woman. Following her death, she ordered the order founded, she remained was remained in her honor, the Order of St. Clare, commonly referred to today as Poor Clares. Her feast day is August 11th. Now, her feast day is August 11th, but they celebrated July 27th. They celebrating St. Clare on July 27th. And the thing about her is she was supposed to get married. Her parents wanted her to get married. And she didn't want to get married, but she ran off with St. Francis. She didn't want to marry whoever it was that her parents was trying to make her marry, or whatever it is that her parents had going on. She didn't want that. And she ran off with St. Francis. That's how that story goes. That's why I'm connecting it and showing you it has to do the celebration of marriage or whatever it is that they're doing in regards to this wedding ritual, to call more upon their recycling of their stories and their histories of the spiritual wicked spiritual foundations right here. It's not a coincidence that it's wedding fireworks. It's not a coincidence that it's Lake St. Clair. Huh? Now, I'm not even going to go and try to get into Grosse Point Farms. It's not a coincidence that it's July 27th. It's not a look at the sector of $100 million. What? It's not a coincidence that even July 27th, that is the Seven Sleepers history. In Matthew 25, 4:35, it says that, so around this time, this is what I'm saying to people. I'm not saying be scared. I'm saying prepare. According, just the same way I said about the weather, that they had some prediction about the 8th, saying August, the first week of August was supposed to be such a da da da. And I saw it in Federal Register, and I said no, but according to the word and the way that I'm following the scripture, and the same way that they're following the scripture, and they're not going to tell you straight out and nowhere because they don't want you to be prepared. They need as many to transition as possible. So around July, that part of the month, there's going to be flooding. And I don't know if it's going to be exactly after this, um what you call it, this ritual, or before the ritual. But it's all supposedly, according to the word, is going to be in conjunction. Okay? So that's enough for today. I may come back and talk about this later. I might do like I normally do. You have to study to show thyself approved unto God, that you won't need to be ashamed when you rightly divide the word of truth. Okay? But God has allowed us to have a blueprint, and a blueprint of love and light, that you will be protected, but your love and light is supposed to be able to shine so that others can see the same thing that you see and be prepared. And again, when those senses go out and begin, when they come through the phones, remember, you must be born again. And being born again means putting aside all the things that are wicked, things that is that evil thrives on. The only way they can eat of your flesh in a spiritually wicked high place is for you to be indulged in the sins that they are commemorating. The cave of the seven sleepers. I'm pretty sure if I go ahead and take my time right now, and I can definitely line this cave of the seven sleepers, am I sharing, up with this right here as a symbol or symbology that out of Houston, they just simulated, came out of being in the cave and making sure that they can make things grow down there out of a 3D printed habitat for when they're ready to go up underground. We thinking bunkers, they got a whole hollow earth down there ready. They got a whole hollow earth already ready. Was there something else I wanted to say about St. Clair? I want to make sure I don't want to leave anything out this time, because usually I leave stuff out. Oh, I was supposed to go over this document that Biden did the other day in regards to the 60 years of civil rights. I didn't do it on Monday. I didn't. I was like, I don't even really truly want to cover that. And I didn't. So maybe, again, just because I had it written down and I went right over it. And I was like, nope, I'm not going to cover that. I'm not going to cover that. Let's see. Yeah, I'll do it another time. This is enough for today. Greater love and light. Okay, Mr. Baskerville. Mr. Baskerville, greater light. Greater light. I'm going to hit the Baskerville. Baskerville. Wait, what story is the story of Baskerville? All right. All right. I'm going to close out with the new release. That song is called Ezekiel 17:24. On the way. Are you on Yahweh, or are you going the other way?
Elvis, Elsa, I'm on the way. I'm on the way. I'm going away. Everyone shall know that it is I, the Lord, who cuts down the high trees and exalts the lows. Everyone shall know that it is I, the Lord. I make the green trees wither and make the dead trees grow. I can do what no man can, even if he never will. The Lord said that I will do it, and promise keep my will. My will be done, the one that is KKKKE. For I have spoken living words, no promise broken.
The hounds of Baskerville.
Star, I'm on the way. Don't blink, twinkle, twink, L star, I'm on the way. I'm on the way. Everyone shall know that it is I, the Lord, who cuts down the high trees and exalts I make the green trees wither and make the dead trees grow. Don't blink, twinkle, twink, L-lit, L-star, I'm on the way. I'm going away. Don't blink, twinkle, twink, L-lit, L-star,